What's up, ladies and gentlemen? How is everybody doing? Hope everybody is doing well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight for What's Up with Austin, episode 2. We're ready to get this back going. We're going to have a lot of fun. I am super, super pumped, super excited, and can't wait as the year goes on. Other guests we bring on, other fun things that we do. It's just going to get better and better and better. I promise. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Hope everybody's doing safe, staying safe and everything. So, little different setup this time. Camera's a little smaller, but we got this cool little effect of looks like, I don't know, glitter, whatever you want to call it, going behind us. So I think that's kind of cool, something different. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Everybody's commenting. Please comment. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. I'd really appreciate it very much. We got Sharon Fitzpatrick. How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a few viewers on YouTube watching tonight. Miss Judy Fields, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. My lovely fiance, hello, Cassidy. Tuning in. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Man, we got a jam-packed show lined up for you guys tonight. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. That's just the concept of everything, man. I got two amazing guests that I'm excited to have on. We got Finley Watkins, we got Jimmy Holmes, two amazing guys, two of my great friends, and we're just gonna have a great time. So if you guys are watching on Facebook, please go and follow my Austin Irby Entertainer page. There it is right there. I don't know. Everything's probably backwards. I don't know. Austin Irby Entertainer page. Go and give me a follow. Go follow on my Instagram page, Austin Irby Entertainment. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the What's Up with Austin YouTube channel. Excuse me. And if you're watching on Facebook and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please go and do that. I would appreciate it very, very much. And also visit AustinIrbyEntertainment.com to find out anything you need to know about me, what we got going on, upcoming events, festivals, everything that we got going on. I'd really appreciate that very, very much. Also, we are taking tips tonight. They are appreciated but not required. You can send through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. Your tips really help keep the show going because, like I said, none of this stuff is free. So anything is grateful. I know we had a lot of people send some tips in last week, and I really, really appreciate that very, very much. I'm very grateful. So thank you guys for that. All right. So it comes to the time of the show to talk about What's Up with Austin. What's Up with Austin segment. So what's going on with me? Well, like we said last week, I have really been off, not on the road for most of this month, I guess you could say. But last week we kind of got back in the ropes of getting on the road and doing some stuff. I had a gig about 20 minutes from here at my house in West Shoals, South Carolina. We had two gigs actually planned, but we only got to do one because of the weather, because one event was outside, so they postponed it to further notice. But we got to perform there in West Shoals inside their senior center, and those people are a blast. They're a lot of fun. We had a great time. So the outdoor show we didn't get to do. We are in the process of rescheduling that. I don't know when. This year, next year, I don't know. We're going to talk about that and get that situated hopefully soon. And then Saturday we were in Franklin Springs, Georgia at the Rhythm and Rides car show. Yes, it was very hot. If you were there, you know what I mean. I was fighting the heat. I was fighting wasp. A lot of crazy things. When you do an outdoor gig, you just never know. And the crazy thing is we get there and they have the stage and we're loading in and we're setting up. And then I'm like, where are all these wasps coming from? Like, what's going on? I can't sing up here with this. Well, there was a big nest on the stage. And of course, I don't like those things. I'm allergic. So I freak out, right? But the people over the place and the car show got it solved for me. So I was happy because I wasn't going to sing up there with those things, anyway. But we had a great time and it was a lot of fun. So thanks to everybody there in Franklin Springs, the city. Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate it very, very much. So let's talk about some events that we have coming up. Let's take this banner off, talk about some events we got coming up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Carolinas Tribute to the King and Legends Festival happening this October. The all event passes are on sale now. If you've never heard of this event before, it's put on by Carolina's Tribute Festivals, which is myself and my brother from another mother, Donnie Mosley. This is our third year doing this event. We're in a new place, new venue, new town. We're in Hickory, North Carolina, and we're excited to be there. Beautiful area. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But we got an amazing lineup. We got Donnie Mosley going to be there, of course, myself. We got Alex Mitchell, Matt Cordell, and Arnold Davidson's going to be there as well. So if you love Elvis, you love country music, you love soul, rock and roll, whatever, you're going to get a wide variety of different genres of music at this event. So I encourage you guys to go to carolinastributefest.com and get your all event passes today. Everything you need to know is on the website, the schedule, the ticket prices, all of info about all our headliners, everything you need to know. Book your hotel at the Comfort Inn. All that information is on there. So please come and see us in Hickory in October. It's October 30th to November 2nd, 2025. We're going to have a lot of fun. Also, go and follow us on our Facebook page, Carolina's Tribute Festivals. Go and give that page a follow. We would really appreciate that very, very much. So hope to see you guys there in Hickory for the Carolina's Tribute to the King of Legends Festival. We're going to have fun. Next on the list, we want to talk about, we got the all access passes available now for the 2026 Austin Urban Family Tree. Yeah, 2026 sounds like a long way away, but to be honest, it's really not. It'll be here before we know it. I promise. World spins way too fast. But the all access passes are on sale now. You can go to austinurbanentertainment.com to get your passes now. And it's March 12th through the 15th at the Black Fox Lodge in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. We were at the Black Fox Lodge this year. I don't know. I'm getting confused here. I want to say last year because we've done the event. This year I meant. And it was a new venue for us and a new hotel, and everybody thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a great place, great people to work with. It was a lot of fun. I got an amazing lineup of entertainers. We got myself. We got the two guys that's on this show tonight is going to be there. We got Jimmy Holmes. We got Finley Watkins going to be there. We got Jesse Aaron, Jacob Roman, Donnie Mosley, Riley Jenkins, Taylor Vay, Nick Murphy, Dwight Bozeman, and we still got one spot available. And I'm pretty sure everybody that was at the family treat knows who that spot is for. But I am still waiting on confirmation. But I want to see you guys there. The Austin Urban Family Tree all access passes are on sale now. You can go to austinurbanentertainment.com. Click on the Austin Urban Family Tree tab to find out everything you need to know about this event. We have a lot of fun. Yes, that's a lot of entertainers, and I'm going to have my hands full, but we're going to have a good time, and that's the main thing. So come see us at the Austin Urban Family Tree next year in the Great Smoky Mountains. We'd appreciate it. All right, this Sunday, May the 4th, I'm going to be literally like 5 minutes out my back door. This event was originally supposed to be in March, I believe. I believe it was March, but I was sick and not able to go, so we rescheduled it, and it's going to be May the 4th, which is this Sunday at Jones Chapel Church here in Belton, South Carolina, which is like 5 minutes out my back door at 6 p.m. I'm not only going to be singing Elvis gospel, I'm going to do a wide variety of Southern gospel music and everything. So I'd love to see you guys there at Jones Chapel Church and come and worship with me. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have some church. I promise you that. Then we move on to the next week, which is something that I look forward to every year, and that's David Lee's Clam Bake Getaway Weekend. It's always Mother's Day weekend. You can get your tickets still now at davidleeclambake.com. You can see there's an amazing lineup. Of course, David Lee, myself, Bill Cherry, Bruno Neshi, Cody Donath, and Riley Jenkins. And also the Treat Me Nice Band is going to be there as well. And it's going to be fun. I'm thoroughly excited and cannot wait. So if you've never been to this event before, I encourage you to come out. This is another event that does not disappoint. It's in Lake Guntersville, Alabama, and it starts next week. So if you don't have your tickets, get them now because you will not be disappointed. Next event, the week after, I leave from Alabama and I head to Arkansas for the first ever Rockin' Eureka Elvis Festival. It's going to be a lot of fun, May 16th through the 18th. Myself, Mr. Bill Cherry, Riley Jenkins is going to be there. We're going to be backed by the Affinity E Tribute Band. A lot of other artists is going to be there as well. There's going to be a Johnny Cash tribute artist. I think Bobby Allen, who's also an Elvis tribute artist, is going to be there as well. And then the lovely Miss Ginger Alden is going to be there also. And we're going to have a lot of fun at this event. So go get your tickets now at rockineureka.com for tickets and festival info. I'd love to see you guys there. I know I had a lot of people watching the show last week when I was talking about this event, and they've never seen me before, and they're excited because they're coming to this event and going to be able to meet me for the first time. So I'm excited to meet them as well. So we're going to have a lot of fun in Eureka Springs, Arkansas at the Rockin' Eureka Elvis Festival. That's going to be a lot of fun. So get your tickets for that also. I'd really appreciate it a lot. Now, I've had so many people writing me, texting me, calling me, wanted to know what's happening in Florida, when you coming back, what's going on. So I made a spring and summer schedule for you guys that we're going to be in Florida for at least over a week and a half. So we're going to be down on May 31st at 2 p.m. at the Cottage Garden there in Wildwood, Florida. I do that event every chance I get. It's a beautiful little place out there, and we have a lot of fun. So come see me there. I think we go for a couple of hours. We start at 2 o'clock, and that's on May 31st. And then June 2nd at 7:15, we're going to be in the Villages at the Big Savannah Center. So I'm super excited about that. Never performed at the Savannah Center, so this will be my first time. So excited about that as well. And then June the 5th at 2 p.m., we will be, I ain't even going to try to pronounce that, Panasofiki, whatever you want to say. You Floridians will know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. A library there in Lake whatever, Florida. I ain't even attempting that again. So we're going to be there for, I think, about an hour performance on June the 5th. Come see me there. And then a place that I always love performing at on June 7th at 8 o'clock, we're going to be at the Lucky Leprechaun Irish Pub there in Orlando. And there are going to be more dates to be announced. I'm still got a couple more shows pending because I got some more dates that I want to fill. So come see me while I'm down in Florida throughout May and June. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Speaking of June, I'll be in Florida again in June for the Summer Festival, June 26th to the 28th at the Circle Square Cultural Center. I think it's where On Top of the World is in Ocala. If I'm correct, that's where we're going to be. This event is put on by ETA Festivals, literally one of the best festival companies out there, literally, no joke. And I'm not saying that because I work with them. It's because I mean it. They are amazing and do a fantastic job. So if you've never been to one of their events, I encourage you to go to one, at least to one. They do all over Myrtle Beach, Arkansas, Alabama, Georgia, so everywhere. So go to etafestivals.com to find out more information about this festival and others. But it's got an amazing lineup of headliners: Dean Z, Cody Deonath, Ben Thompson, Dwight Eisenhower, Alex Mitchell, myself, Lewis Brown, your current Ultimate Champion Emilio Santoro, Tom Brown, Braxton Sykes, and we're all backed by the Affinity E Tribute Band. So this is a lot of fun. Get your tickets now for that because it's a great event and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll see you guys at one of these events really, really soon. All right, let's go check a few more comments before we bring on our first guest of the night. All right, let's see. We got Ann Revere tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. North Carolina there. Linda Yeager, thank you so much. Who else we got tuning in? Let's see. I saw a few more. Somebody watching from Cornelius, North Carolina. Becky Houston, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it a lot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to bring our first guest on the show. And this guy is one of my great friends. I love him dearly. Him and I will have to tell the stories when he gets on here. But when he comes on, just look at his shirt. That's all I'm going to say. Just look at the shirt. We'll go into details then, okay? Great musician, great entertainer, great singer. Man, he can do anything. And I'm not lying. That's the God's truth. And we're going to talk about all of that tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to give him a little groovy music. And we got to bring him on. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to the screen, Finley Watkins. What's happening, bro?
Hey, Austin. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate this.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the show.
Man, last time I was on this was a long time ago, bro. A
long time ago, bro. I know. It's been a while, but I'm glad that we're back and glad that we're going to be able to start doing this show more often. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun tonight, man. I got a lot of cool stuff in store, so it's going to be cool.
Awesome. I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Let's jump into this. Let's talk about some things. But wait. I said we're going to talk about the shirt. Let's talk about the shirt. Okay. That shirt looks very, very, very familiar. Where'd that shirt come from? I don't know.
I just found it.
You found it? Wow.
It's on the side of the road.
On the side of the road.
No, that came from the Austin Irby closet.
From the Austin Irby closet. Man.
The Austin Irby collection is what I call it.
Thank you. Yeah. Maybe someday you'll be able to sell that on eBay.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Austin Irby stage-worn attire.
There you go. That works. No, before we came on, we were talking about the shirt, and he was like, that was one of his favorites, and I said I loved it too. But Finley has a lot of my wardrobe.
I do.
Anytime we go to an event, I bring a suitcase full, and I go, Finley, pick what you want.
He wipes all the money I make from the event straight into his bank account every time.
See, I'm smart. Smart
man.
He's the one that's buying it, not Oh Lord. All right, man. Well, let's jump right into this and let's talk about some things that you've done over the years and talk about Elvis, the tribute artist world, and everything. So, first question is, what initially drew you to the music and the persona of Elvis Presley?
Well, I was actually only 4 years old, and I'd started playing a little guitar and doing some music stuff, and was going on a family vacation to Gulf Shores, Alabama, and I saw a billboard of Elvis as we was passing through Memphis. It was about Graceland, and I went home and I asked my mom. Well, actually, right then I asked my mom who it was, and I went home and started researching him. On the time, I had one of those iPad 2s, and
right.
Man, I started researching Elvis, and I fell in love with his music, and started giving little living room concerts. And then I figured out that this really was a thing. People, made this their careers. So I right after my 6th birthday, I entered the Images of the King Youth Division in Memphis, and dyed my hair black. I'm naturally white blonde. Dyed my hair black and entered that contest. I placed 2nd in it, and I had the bug ever since. Man, I fell in love with it right then.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because about the bug bit you, because you, as well as I know, that any festival you go to, you run into a lot of people that say, "Oh, we've never experienced nothing like this," and my reaction is, "Oh, you'll be addicted by the time we're done."
Yeah, yes, sir.
Elvis will latch onto you and not let go, and it's because of the entertainer that he was and the human being that a lot of people really don't know. And when you go to events like this, you learn that type of stuff, and it's addicting, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me.
Very addicting.
That's right. So, as a tribute artist, you pay tribute to many different artists, not only Elvis. What are some of the challenges involved in paying tribute to such legendary figures that are like, you can just name a song by that artist and people's going to exactly know the words and who that is?
Well, especially when you're performing to people who are specialized fans just for that one guy, or just big fans of that guy, that, they could be very critical, of course. And even if they're not huge fans, you really want to capture the essence of that performer so that you can really, bring their music to them accurately and make them have a good time with it, for sure. Because you're not the person you're paying tribute to, so you have to be able to also entertain them, and use your entertainment ability to, to make them have a good time. Because you could be the best singer in the world, but you have to have that ability to connect with your audience. And I think that is the most important part of it, for sure.
Yeah, that's so true. That is true. We're talking, while we're on this subject, we're talking about, other entertainers that you pay tribute to. We know Elvis, influenced you, of course, but and I know a lot of other artists that influenced you, but the viewers may not. But are there any other musicians, artists that have influenced you on, why you've been on your musical journey? Who and why?
Man, there could just be an endless list, really. There's so many great ones, in every genre. obviously Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm kind of also known for doing that, and I love doing the Jerry Lee stuff, man. It's so fun. It's you know he really created something awesome there because there wasn't many guys out there playing piano. And he faced some
Mhm.
of that whenever he first started. That they
Right,
didn't want a piano player; they told him to go learn to play guitar. But
right.
he kind of broke the mold on that, and it's so fun to get to entertain through that persona for sure, and get to bring back that music. And then obviously I do a lot of guitar stuff, so whenever I do my own type of set, Steve Ray Vaughan's a huge influence on the way I play. And there's so many. I love the blues. So many great blues guys. Albert King's a big influence of mine, and of course BB King. Can't go wrong with BB King. And
That's
then on
right.
the country side, Keith Whitley. I love Keith Whitley, Johnny Cash. I mean, the list is ongoing and ongoing. There's so many great artists out there for sure.
Right. So while we're on this subject, let's talk about this. Now, here's a question that's probably going to be the hardest one of the entire night. If you could collaborate with any artist, living or deceased, that's not with us anymore, who would it be and why? That's a
It
hard
has to be.
question. I
It
know.
has to be Elvis, though. It has to be Elvis.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's no way around that one. I love doing all the other stuff for sure. It's a great time getting to be myself in some of it, and then also doing the tributes to artists like Jerry Lee Lewis and whatnot. But my passion has always lied in Elvis truly, and ever since I was just a little boy, whenever I first discovered Elvis, I've always had that huge passion for his music. Everything about the guy really. So there would be no better experience than getting to collaborate with him. That's something unimaginable.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. That is so true. It's like I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and I was at a restaurant or something, and we were talking about the Elvis world. They've come to some of my shows, but they were asking about, is there a difference between the entertainment world and the Elvis world? And I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
totally,
it's night and
totally.
day. Yes, it is.
And they
And
coincide with each other, but they're different.
absolutely. And the main key to what they were trying to ask me was, what makes that so much more special than just the all around entertainment world. And I said, well, first off, Elvis is what makes it special because of the human being he was, and how I said it never ceases to amaze me that you can go anywhere in the entire world and say Elvis Presley, and people's gonna be like, "Yep, I know who it is." Sing "Burning Love," sing "Jailhouse Rock."
Yeah,
They know these songs. They know the name Elvis, and he's touched so many people. And this person, while I'm talking about this, they asked me why. Why is Elvis? Why does Elvis touch so many people? Why didn't this artist or this artist today or something like that? I said it's because of the human being that he was. He didn't meet a stranger. He would give the shirt off his back. He would do anything for anybody. And I said, that's what drew me to him. As a young kid, of course, I thought he was cool because of the hair and the cars and everything like
yeah,
that. But it was the human being that he was. And some people will say, well, it was the music that drew me. The music's great. But when you start reading about Elvis and the person that he was,
yeah,
you this may sound crazy, but you fall in love with him even more, if that's how you want to
yeah,
say it,
for sure.
as a fan, because we get on stage and pay tribute, but we're a fan first and foremost.
Yeah,
And a lot of people
definitely.
don't understand that. They don't get that point, but we are. um but it's just, that's why, like what you're saying here, that's why you would choose Elvis, was because
Yeah,
of how he's touched you. And some other artists may have done that, but just Elvis has that special it factor that
for
you just
sure.
can't describe. You can't
Yeah.
describe it. So let's move forward in your career. All right. Something that I don't think I've ever asked you on an interview, but I think you and I have talked about it before. So viewers that are watching, you may not know this about Finley, but Finley's been on many TV shows. I mean, The Ellen Show, Nickelodeon, just to name a few. He's been on quite a few Little Big Shots. Um, what was it like being on those shows? Um, and can you share like a memorable moment from that experience of being on there?
Oh man, so many great moments for sure. The first television show I was on was the Ellen DeGeneres show. I have been
Yep.
on it twice. I was on it once, it was 2017 and 2018, and then I was on it again when I was 13. in 2021 for the farewell season. They brought back all their favorite guests. I was honored to be a part of that. But that first experience, of getting the calls, beforehand with the producers and the pre-interview
Right.
process, and then getting to fly out to Los Angeles as an 8-year-old boy was, I'll be on the TV show. It's just unforgettable, man, unforgettable. I'll never forget, flying into LA and then getting in the car and then taking us out to Burbank and everything. That was incredible, and getting to go onto the set and then all the staff there, all the crew, they were so nice to me and truly made us feel like gold for sure. And that experience of walking on that stage I'd seen so many times, sitting in my living room watching the LA
Yeah.
show, really being there was just wild. That was awesome.
That's cool. That's cool. So off top, well, this one ain't really a question that I had on the list, but while we're talking about those shows, while you were there on the Ellen show or any of the Nickelodeon stuff or whatever, were there any other big time actors or anything that you got to meet that was just like an all moment, like I can't believe I met this person or anything? Did you run into anybody while you were there?
Well, obviously meeting Ellen was
Well, yeah,
pretty
of
incredible.
course.
Whenever I was on a show called Lip Sync Battle Shorties, there was two hosts. It was Nick Cannon and JoJo Siwa, and
Right.
that was pretty crazy. Those are two figures you see a lot, in different media and stuff like that. And also, whenever I was on Little Big Shots, Melissa McCarthy was the host for that, and that was pretty cool meeting her too. I'd have to say she was the sweetest celebrity I've ever met. And JoJo Siwa was really nice to me too. They both came to my dressing room before I was on the TV show to come talk to me, make sure I was comfortable with them, everything was good,
Right.
to get to know me, and I really appreciated that because obviously there's some nerves involved in being on a huge TV show like that, and that was really calming to have a little pre-interview process with them and whatnot. And they were both so kind. But seeing them after watching Mike and Molly on TV and stuff like that your whole life, seeing them really in front of you was pretty incredible for sure.
That's cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that is something that you'll never forget the rest of your life.
For sure. For sure.
I wish I could have done that at 8 years old, you lucky dog. But you deserved it, man. I mean, you're an incredible musician, you're an incredible singer, and you work your butt off. So, I mean, you deserved it, bro. You really did.
Too, man. You too.
So, have you ever had any interesting or memorable reactions from people who are fans of the particular artist that you're paying tribute to during your show? What's something interesting or memorable that you remember, like their reaction of you doing like Elvis or Jerry Lee or all that you do, whatever?
I'd have to say my favorite compliments to get are when people saw Elvis in concert, or I've met quite a few people that went to the Hilton or whatever it is, the International, and one really cool one I got was, I did, obviously before the jump set I do 2001, and this ain't even really about me. This is about my show. And they said that really brought them back. Hearing that intro music made them feel like they were back at the Hilton. And that was just so cool, because that's cool. Something not everybody is necessarily synonymous with Elvis, but for that person, it really, struck their memory. Mm-hmm. But anytime somebody really got to watch Elvis and they say that, that brought back a piece of that memory for them, I mean, you can't beat that compliment. You know what I mean?
No.
That's just.
You can't.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Now, this just popped in my head, but I want you to some of the viewers may not know about this, but Finley really, no, we're not fibbing. This is God's truth. He got to perform for Jerry Lee in his home, right?
Well, yeah, I got to be with him in his house a couple times.
Yeah.
But I got to perform for him on a different stage.
All right, talk about being in the home of somebody that you look up to, and you've paid tribute to, and they've been able to perform for him. What was all that like?
Yeah, so the first time I met Jerry Lee, I was only 7, I think.
Right.
But then the coolest memory I have was he was in Millington, Tennessee, and there's another performer that I was good friends with, and actually the bass player with Jerry Lee Lewis is a bass player named Ray Gann, a fantastic guy, a great bass player, and he's always a really nice to me growing up in my career and whatnot. And so they were the band, and there was another guy performing, and so I got to get up and sing a few songs. And right before I got up to sing a few songs, though, Jerry Lee came rolling up on the golf cart, and I'd already met him a couple times at this point and whatnot. But man, that was just watching him watch me perform his music. That's unforgettable for sure. And
That's cool, man. That's
that
cool.
was awesome. And
Now,
then I did at the. You can go ahead.
okay. Now, some people who were at the Fan Retreat probably know this, and who have saw you do Jerry Lee before. But at the Fan Retreat and in Helen, Finley wore a shirt on the stage, and it was Jerry Lee's. Now, how incredible is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's unreal.
Yeah.
Um,
Judith, his wife,
now,
is a great friend of mine, and she's given me that,
right.
another shirt of his, and one of his bolo ties. And we still talk today. I was actually talking to her the other day. She's great.
That's awesome, dude. That's incredible. That is cool. So, there's a lot of artists. Of course, you're young. You're a lot younger than me. Lord, I remember those days. Anyway,
That's probably whenever you bought this shirt, wasn't it? Not my age.
Could have been possibly. everything that I had clothes wise when I was like 16, 17 years old fits Finley to the T. No joke. So there's a lot of younger guys that are starting to pay tribute to Elvis that are way younger than you. What type of advice for any young people, whether they want to be a tribute artist, entertainer, whatever, that just have big dreams, that they want to be, say, a musician, or they want to be able to be on the Ellen Show, or whatever, some things of that nature. What type of advice would you give somebody like that wants to pursue something of that nature?
Well, I know this might sound a little cliche, but really, if you never give up, you really can't achieve those dreams. I definitely remember being just a little boy and watching Susan Quinn's videos of Helen and everything, and just dreaming that someday I'd get to be a part of that event. And 2021 was my first Helen. I was only 13. That was surreal getting to be invited to that. So, and really just keep pursuing it, because there's definitely a spot for you in this Elvis world, for sure. As long as you just keep at it and stay motivated and never give up on that dream. For sure.
Yep. And watch Elvis. Watch Elvis is the key.
Yes, that is definitely the key.
Watch Elvis. That's right. Well, Finley, I got one more question for you, and this may be the hardest one. I don't know, because I don't know, because if somebody was to ask me this, it would take me a minute. If you could ask Elvis Presley one question, just one, no follow-up, no nothing, just one question, what would it be?
Wow, that's a pretty difficult one, Austin. Now you're leaving me alone and putting me on the screen by myself for this one.
Yes.
Gosh, man, I don't know. Wow, there's so many, This is a pretty good one, Austin. You really done it here. I think it'd be really interesting to talk to Elvis in 1953 or 1954, whenever he was, just first starting out, and, recording My Happiness and That's Our Mama. What he foresaw with his music career. That would be pretty cool to ask, and see where his head was at, because there's not much documentation of him at that time. It'd be no interviews, because he was just starting. So everything else, there's interviews of him and people, his friends around him, that there's some documentation of what, where his mind is at. So it would be really cool to talk to him before.
That's true.
Before the thing, and see,
I never really thought about asking something like that. That is true, because there is not much, video footage or anything that you can see of that. So, you would like to know what was going on in his mind.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, you look at 68 Comeback, 1970 International, you can find whatever you want.
I mean, there's countless, interviews, and his friends and everybody around him was absorbing everything that he was doing.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. I haven't heard that one before. I wouldn't even have thought of that. That was cool. Okay. Yeah. I would love to know the answer to that. That would be intriguing. That'd be intriguing to know. Cool. Well, bro, I appreciate you being on the show, and I'm glad I got to interview you again. Look, before I let you go, I want to, there's some people on here sending you a lot of love, man.
Hey, Ann.
They're sending you a lot of love. So
hey, Judy.
They're all loving you.
Sharon. Oh, awesome. Cassidy.
Everybody's loving you. So, bro, look, thanks for coming on and doing the interview.
Thank you, man.
Now, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take Finley off the screen, but he's not going anywhere because we're gonna bring him back a little later on. Because
I'm going to McDonald's.
You're going to. Oh, you better send me something. I know we live far away, but
I'll DoorDash.
But well, it probably wouldn't be good next week. I'll see you next week. But it probably won't be. It'll probably be molded and not good.
They have enough preservatives in those McDonald's burgers. You'd be fine.
Yeah, true. But we're going to bring Finley back on a little later. For those of you who tuned in last week, we had a nice little game that we did with Arnold and Jacob. Well, I got another one this week, so it's going to be fun. So, Finley, hang around. Thanks so much again for coming on. And these people are loving it, so I really appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man. Awesome talking to you, brother.
All right, I'll get you back on in a few.
Sounds good, man. Bye.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Finley Watkins, put some hearts on the screen for him. Come on now. I know he appreciates it very much. You can go Finley Watkins Entertainer. Follow him on Facebook and find all of his other social media platforms as well. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a quick, short commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to get world champion, Elvis tribute artist, one of my great friends, Jimmy Holmes, on here to chat with you guys and get to know him more. So don't change that channel. We'll be back in a flash with What's Up with Austin.
Hello, everybody. I'm Don Tronathan, and crap. Hello, everybody. I'm Don Tronathan, and consider yourself lucky to have landed on this YouTube page. This is my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel trailer. So, feel free to smash like and ring my bell so that you get any notification of any video uploads that I do. I'm going to stream on here, and I'm mostly going to do horror gaming, but there are vlogs and videos of me doing covers of other songs and such. So, yeah. Until next time, everybody have a good one. Bye. Bye.
Well, I think Tronathan just interrupted our broadcast and was talking about some stuff. Oh, well, Don Tronathan, everybody. He made an appearance. Put some hearts on the screen for him. Go follow his YouTube channel, Don Tronathan. I know he'd appreciate it very, very much. Welcome back to What's Up with Austin. I hope you guys are still having a great time out there. We still got a lot of viewers making a lot of comments. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, share all across social media. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and share this with all your friends. Call them right now. We still got a little bit to go in the show. You definitely don't want to miss the ending. So come on, let's get some more viewers on. We really appreciate it very, very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest that's coming on the show, he's one of my great friends, and he's just an amazing entertainer. One of the best Elvis tribute artists in the world, in my opinion. And I'm not saying this because he's on the show, but I say this because I mean it. Jimmy is probably one of the guys that I saw, and I don't remember when this was. It was a few years back in Ocean City, Maryland. I believe Jimmy was headlining. I was competing, and that was really my first time watching him perform. And I looked at everybody that was with me, and I had chills. Because I said, I feel like I'm watching Elvis. I feel like I am, because he really, really critiques everything he does to try to get as close as Elvis as possible. And as being a fellow tribute artist and ETA brother, that means a lot to see somebody do that. So he's a great guy, great singer, great Elvis. If you've never seen him before, I encourage you to go and do that. So without further ado, let's get him on the screen. Jimmy Holmes. We're here somewhere. There we are. What's up?
Yeah. What's up, Austin?
How are you, man? Doing good?
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can't complain, man. Can't complain. If I was, nobody would listen. You know how it goes.
I know, that's right. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm very excited. This is
Absolutely,
cool.
man. I'm
Never
happy to
been
have
on
you
a
on too, man.
never been on an ETA talk show before.
I know
Cool
this
stuff.
this would be cool. This would be cool. So for those of you who were at, Jimmy and I were talking about this earlier. For those of you who were at the fan retreat, so I had Jimmy and Arnold do a live version of this show, but the live version and the recorded live stream version is two totally different things. Because see, the last time we did this, we was in front of an audience. Now we're in front of millions of people watching through a computer screen. So it's a little different. It's a little different, you know. But we had a lot of fun doing that at the fan retreat. I think that was great. It was
that was a lot of fun.
to do that.
It was something that
It was good.
it was different, from any other festival. Never had
Right.
something like
That's
that.
true.
Just cool.
That's true, man. That's
Mhm.
true. Well, thank you. So let's kick right into this. I got a lot of writing for you, dude. So hopefully I don't stump you too much, but let's get into it. What inspired you to become a tribute artist, and was there a specific moment or tribute artist that sparked your passion?
Yeah. Well, funny you say a tribute artist. My dad, Jim Holmes, actually, when I was a kid, he performed as Elvis. He was an ETA for about 6 or 7 years. He did it.
Right.
So he was the one who introduced me to Elvis music. And, ever since I was as young as I can remember, 3 or 4 years old, I remember hearing Elvis music around the house. He had all the DVDs, all the 68 comeback, the Aloha, Elvis on tour. That's the way, all the movies, everything.
Mhm.
And so that really influenced me. It put Elvis in my, in my childhood the whole time. And then especially seeing him performing and doing the ETA thing, it really influenced me, and I saw the whole Elvis world as a kid. I went to his shows, and he did some of the big festivals. He did Tupelo Elvis Festival back in 2008 or so, and Images of the King back in 2005, and all that stuff. So I was there. I was about 5 years old, but I got a little bit of the taste of the Elvis business, and I guess it kind of stuck with me.
That's cool. That's awesome. That I bet you it is really cool being able to grow up and your dad, what you do now. I bet you that is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cool thing about it is you got somebody you can go to for advice that's done, been there, done that. So that's really cool. That's And if you've never met his dad is a super nice guy and a phenomenal singer. So I know for a fact. I've seen him and I've heard him. So he's amazing. So, in the tribute artist world or entertainment world, whatever you do, whether you're a musician, singer, tribute artist, or drummer in a band, whatever, there are a lot of technical aspects that go into, especially what we do in our performance, that a lot of people don't see or understand. There's a lot of people out there. I mean, I get it all the time from friends that I went to school with, like, man, you got the easiest job in the world. I'm like, well, what do you do? Well, I flip burgers at Burger King. I'm like, yeah, those 3 jobs for a day. It's not just getting on stage and singing. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes behind it, such as costumes, your music choices for that gig, a stage setup. So explain to the viewers how important those details are to the technical aspects of everything behind the scenes.
Yeah, the details, especially to me, are super important. I try and be as authentic as possible to Elvis, just like you. And the costumes, Elvis is not it's not a cheap hobby or a cheap, there's a lot of investment that you put into it. The costumes are very nice, and they're, tailored to you. They're custom made. They're not cheap, I'll tell you that. And, you got to keep your hair dyed every month, because my hair is naturally lighter.
Yeah,
so
me too.
you got to get the hair done. you get the replica Elvis guitars, the Elvis rings, all of that stuff. It's it's an investment when you first go into doing Elvis, and you hope that, you don't go into it for the money, but you kind of hope that you can make some of your money back with,
Yeah,
what
for
you're
sure.
investing into,
For
into
sure.
your craft. And so it's very important. And the technical aspects of the stage with the lighting, and
Mhm.
what you want where, what colors you want for certain songs and stuff. It all adds up. But the time on the stage, the performing, I don't, that's not the job. The job is
Yeah.
the rest of it. The job is the travel, the early mornings, the late nights doing stuff to get the show just right.
Right.
Exactly what I mean. And so
Yeah.
that hour on the stage, or whatever time it is, that's not work. It's everything else is. But people will see, that you're up on the stage, and they'll be, oh, it's a glamorous life, whatever it is. But
True.
really,
That's true.
there's been many moments where it's like, this is far from glamorous, but you still love it, because you're
Right.
big. ETAs are some of the biggest Elvis fans in the world. So, we're
Right.
doing it because we love Elvis. We're not doing it for the glamour or whatever,
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
so true. That is true.
Mhm.
While we're on this subject, kind of got another question to throw at you.
Mhm.
So for you, what are your key elements that you focus on to portray Elvis on stage, and give that authentic, you know,
Yeah.
performance? Because like I said before you came on, is that when I saw you in Ocean City that first time, that was the first thing that popped in my head. Like, wow, I feel like I'm watching Elvis. I really did, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever really said that to anybody, but I
Yeah.
did, and I even said that at the fan retreat when I was back there watching you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into that too, to get that authenticity, because Elvis
Mhm.
had that distinctive style. You know,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
so for you, what are those key elements that get that for you?
Mhm. Yeah. Well, yeah, first of all, very nice, what you're saying. And, that is kind of like Finley said, that's kind of the biggest compliment that you can get, is if you can bring back the memories, even if it's for a split second where someone's like, oh,
Right.
wow, that's like Elvis. Um, but, it's, as it's watching Elvis a lot, and, learning his stage show, because
Mhm.
Elvis had a very interesting way of being, where, yes, you knew that he was really energetic and really into his show and choreographed and theatrical, but at the same time it was super informal, and it was relaxed, and it was like him and the audience were just, it was like he was just joking around with them sometimes, you know what
Yep.
I mean? It was a
Yep.
very interesting way of being. So a lot of studying Elvis and trying to get his body language down to where, even if you go on stage and you might, because we're not Elvis, obviously, and you do
No.
something that is what you would do, if you still kind of have that Elvis-y body language going on, then it'll
Yeah.
still come off Elvis-like to the audience. Because, I never want to go up there and do a shot for shot remake of a certain song, because then it's going to come off as robotic, and people are going to
Mhm.
be like, okay, he's really good at memorizing every move Elvis ever did.
Right. Right.
Performance won't come off as natural, and the people they won't connect the same way. It won't put
Yeah.
them at ease, because that's what Elvis did. Elvis put everyone at ease, whether it was the band, the audience, himself, everything. So that's the main goal, is to kind of recreate that feeling. It's tough,
Right.
but we
It
try.
is tough. It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and exactly what you said. It said is true. Um.
Mhm.
So here's a hard question for you.
Mhm.
What's one song by Elvis that holds a particular special meaning for you, and why that song?
Mm. Yeah. Um, That's a good question. I would say one of the earliest memories I have of, watching and seeing a video of Elvis singing a song. I remember it's in the Elvis on Tour movie, and it's the rehearsal part when he's doing, I think it's Separate Ways, and he has the red shirt on and the
Right.
headphones and everything.
Yep.
And and that song, I remember seeing that, as a kid, and probably the whole Elvis on Tour movie, but specifically that song for some reason sticks out. I think because there's no, the concert performances and the videos from the concert, it's very, there's a lot going on. The band's going, Elvis is going, the audience, but that song, it was, it's a quiet song. The camera's just on, Elvis, at least for the beginning of it. Then they go into the montage of stuff, but it's just Elvis, like from right here, and the camera's right on him, and it's just his voice and the soft music in the background, and so that's a song that'll always kind of stick out to me. That's the earliest, one of the earliest memories I remember of Elvis.
That's a great song too, and Elvis on Tour is amazing to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I love it. I love it. So. The question I'm fixing to ask, you probably just answered it, but we'll see if it changes. If you could have seen Elvis perform live at any point in his career, which era would you choose, and why that era?
Yeah, I have it down to the date and the show and everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be June 10th, 1972 in Madison Square Garden, the afternoon show when he's in the wheat jumpsuit, the light blue with the gold embroidery on it. Because like my dad, going back to him, he had the CD back, when I was a kid and the title of the CD was called An Afternoon in the Garden, and it was that show. And it was just the soundtrack of it was just amazing. The band was on fire. They might have been on some other stuff too, but they were like flying. And it was like awesome, and Elvis's voice was just, it was just, wow. It was just larger than life. And then, then the Prince from Another Planet, like those video clips from that show came out, from the fans, and seeing him walk out with That's All Right Mama, and he comes out with the cape and the gold in the cape and everything, and the flash bulbs going everywhere. I mean, that just would have been an otherworldly experience, to be there. So that's my show that I would have wanted to see, because I think that was Elvis at, the height of his stardom, selling out Madison Square Garden, the first artist ever to sell it out 4 times in a row. I just wish they professionally filmed it.
I know. Wouldn't that have been something? Yeah. Like they did the Aloha from Hawaii. Wouldn't that have been something? That would have been cool.
Right.
That'd have been really cool. I'm going to give you my answer to that question. So mine would be the Tupelo Homecoming show. One outside where were the puppy. I don't know why, but I love that, show, and there's a lot of it on YouTube, but I think another reason why I love it is hanging right over here. A fan bought me a frame and put actual photos. I don't know if they're the actual photos that she took, but of him from that show, and dead center is her ticket stub.
Oh yeah,
from where she went, and I'm like, I love it. And then I got that at a young age, so that show kind of stuck with me. Yeah. And then, and I've been fortunate that in some of the festivals I have been asked to recreate that show. So being able to try to recreate that at a show that you like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, I really got to step up my A game here.
Right. That would, that's another thing too. It would have been amazing to see Elvis in the 50s, when he was a brand new sensation. And also because there's some footage of him in the 50s, but there's not that little. Much, so it would be it would be cool to see, you know, what his show was really like and what he
I
was
know.
really like. Because,
No,
yeah, you don't know as much.
no, you don't, especially like
Mhm.
68 or you
Yes.
know, any part of the 70s. You can
Right.
go on YouTube and find whatever you want. But
Yeah.
like me and Finley was talking about, the 50 stuff's hard to find. It
Very hard.
really is hard to find.
Mhm.
Um, you may get lucky, you know, to run across some, but really most of the 50s footage is from the early movies. You know,
Yes.
Love Me Tender, Jailhouse Rock, you know, Loving You or
Mhm.
whatever, King Creole. But you go back, like what Finley said, 53, 54.
Yeah.
What was he
Yeah.
like on
Right.
stage?
Mhm.
You don't know. You have
Yeah.
no idea. So it would
Mhm.
be cool to see. It really would.
Mhm.
Um, so tell me and the viewers one thing that people might be surprised to learn about Jimmy Holmes, the person, outside of being an Elvis tribute artist. What is something that they might be surprised to learn about you they don't know?
Well, one of the things, it's kind of funny. My kind of about me and my wife. We're big like antique lovers. Like we go to antique shops everywhere. You know, if she
Right?
comes with me traveling, we go to all the different vintage places, antique places, and we collect these things right here. They're called fairy lamps, and they're two
That's
pieces.
awesome.
And you put, you know, it used to be you put a candle, but right now we have like electronic ones. But
Right.
yeah, but we collect these as much as we can. We have about like I think we have over 50 of them by now, but
Wow.
we've got them from like all over the United States, you know, with you know where we travel for Elvis and all that stuff. So anytime we go to a gig, she's always, you know, if she can come with, she's always searching up the antique stores that are close by. So then we'll go there and see what we can find. But yeah, that's probably something that people didn't know or would be
That's awesome. That's cool, man. I love going to antique stores too. I love it, the vintage stuff. I'm with you. Um, my dad is all about that stuff. My dad
Oh yeah.
used to own an antique shop many years
Okay.
ago when I was a kid. So I was
Hmm.
brought up with all that stuff. So my dad, he still collects. I tell him sometimes
Yeah.
he's a hoarder, but you know,
Yeah.
but he loves it. But I love going in there and shopping too. You know, you
Yeah.
never know what you'll find. You know,
No,
the
you
cool
never
stuff.
know. Hmm.
Never know.
Hmm.
So, I got two more questions for you, and I think I see the best two for last. So, you personally, what do you think it is about Elvis Presley that continues to resonate with so many people across so many different generations? What is it about Elvis that can just pull in anybody and you see him for the first time, you're hooked for life? I mean, what is it about that?
Yeah. You know, you know, to me, Elvis is the greatest entertainer of all time. But you know, he's up there with, you know, guys like the Beatles and guys like Michael Jackson and those transcendent entertainers that it doesn't matter what generation it is, you see
Right.
them and it's, you know, it's wild. And Elvis, I think it's because Elvis has influenced so much down the line. Like people today are still influenced by Elvis or influenced by people who are influenced by Elvis. You know,
Yep.
whether it's
Yep.
the hair or you know the style and the way he dressed or the way he moved on stage. You know, people there was nothing like Elvis before Elvis. You know, Elvis pioneered a lot of new feats in music, and I think that just sticks throughout the generations. And then you know he influenced this artist, and then this artist influenced them, and so that Elvis influence is still going throughout generation after generation.
Right.
And you can't ever, as cool as Elvis was, you can never put like that. You can't ever put Elvis's coolness was so cool. It was timeless. Like he was to that level
Right.
where it didn't matter what era it was. Elvis was going to be a star no matter
Mhm.
where, what time in the universe Elvis came into the world. He was destined to be Elvis Presley. And I also think another thing that goes with it is back then, like we were talking about the 50s, there's not a whole lot of footage there. So it's almost like this mystery, and you have like this mystique of Elvis, and he almost gets this otherworldly, mystical,
Right.
aura about him, and you see that, and it's not like today with all the stars today. You have an iPhone and there's footage of them everywhere and every show
True.
and everything. And Elvis, there's still a little bit of mystery because we don't have all the footage. We don't know everything he did. We don't know this or that. And so I think that kind of draws people to it too, because it's kind of like trying to figure out what Elvis was really like, because Elvis was a very multifaceted human being, and his personality and his, some of it was good, some of it was bad. His shows, sometimes he was, on it, other times he wasn't. And so it's like you kind of try and figure out what Elvis was really like through that, but there's always that mystery there to Elvis that I think draws people into,
Yep. That is a perfect way to put it. That is so true. The mystery that he leaves you with. That is true. That is so true. There's even people in the comments that are saying they agree. So, that is true, bro. That is true. That is true. So I got one more question for you. And I asked Finley this question and it took him a minute. So I'm going to ask you, if you could ask Elvis Presley one question, what would it be?
Yeah, I'd probably, I'd want to ask him, like, I would want to ask him towards the end of his life in the mid 70s, I would want to ask him if he was happy with how his career turned out, and he was happy with everything that he got. Because, you look at, Elvis's life and you're like, man, he had everything. He had money, he had the cars, he had the fame, he had any woman he could ever ask for, all there. But, so many times you that doesn't really lead to happiness. So I would want to ask him, and ask him what was happiness for him. Was it this fame? Was it all of the things that he got, all the accolades or everything? Or would he be happier, leading a more simple life? Like I would really want to see what Elvis wanted, because by the time he got to that point, it didn't matter what he wanted anymore. He was a money-making machine that people depended on and that the Colonel was using. And so it didn't matter what Elvis wanted at that point. I would want to ask him, like, hey, would you be cool with just like quitting and just like going and doing your own thing and having a normal job, or doing, and I would be really curious to see what he would say to something like that.
I would be curious to see what he would say.
Yeah.
Because that's a good one.
I've heard things, when he was later in the 76, 77, that he, was interested in maybe becoming like an evangelist preacher or going more in the gospel areas and stuff. And it would just be interesting to see, what he was thinking at that point, because obviously we kind of know at some points he wasn't happy with life. And so I'd want to see, would he have been happy just leaving it all and not being Elvis Presley anymore and just being a normal guy,
normal human being.
Yeah, it would just be curious to see. I know that's not like, I guess it's an interesting question. It's not the most,
I love it.
Yeah, it's not the most about Elvis and his career, but more about what he would want.
That is cool. I would love to know that answer. I'm with you. That's a good one. Well, bro, look, everybody, I'm going to put some comments up here, man. They're loving it. They're saying hello.
I remember
everybody's saying hello.
At not Clambake, at the Austin thing. Yeah.
Let's see. This lady says she got to meet you for the first time at Blackpool.
Oh yeah, Blackpool. Yeah, that was just last month. Yep, Blackpool is a fun
That's
time.
awesome. Miss Judy says she wish you were at Clambake again.
Oh yeah, I'd love to come back to Clambake. Yeah, one of these.
I
days,
wish she was there too.
Well, complain to David and tell him to have me next time.
Okay, well, I'll complain. I will. Well, bro, look, man, I'm glad you got to come on the show. I know we got to do this in front of a live audience like a month ago, but it's kind of cool to do it a little different. We got a cool little background. We got cool stuff going on, so that's why I like it. It's cool.
High quality production here.
I try my best. I know it could be better, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, better than what I could do, man.
Oh man, but I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with me and let the viewers get to know more about you. But you're not done yet. But I'm gonna let you go, and we're gonna get you back on with Finley, and we're gonna have a fun game.
All right.
And it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited. Okay. So we're gonna see what happens. So again, thanks, bro. I really appreciate you coming on and chatting with us.
Yes, thank you, Austin. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jimmy Holmes. Come on. Everybody put some hearts and likes on the screen. You saw me. I put his Facebook page up there. You can go give him a follow. Jimmy Holmes is Elvis. I know he'd appreciate it very, very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are still having a lot of fun. Hope you guys are still enjoying the show. We still got a little bit more to go, but we're going to take a quick, short commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to get both guys on the screen, and we're going to play a little game. And I'll tell you guys what that game is when we come back. Don't change that channel. We'll be back with What's Up with Austin in just a flash.
That was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
And we are back. I told you that would be quick. That would go by fast. Oh man, we're ready. I'm ready for this. I'm a little nervous too because I had to do all this from scratch, and I don't know how it's gonna work, but we're gonna give it a shot. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a fun game planned, and it's gonna be fun. I hope. I'm trying to get it all prepared right now because I want to have a cool intro for this. So. We're going to play some music. Well, it's game time, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to play Virtual versus Scramble. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to play Virtual versus Scramble. Anybody ever heard of that? Probably not. It's going to be good. I'm excited. It's going to be great. So I don't know, but something's going to happen. I don't know what, but it's going to be fun. So can we get both these guys back on the screen? Let's get both guys back on the screen. Let's get Finley Watkins. Finley, are you still with us?
I still am, brother.
Awesome. And Jimmy, are we there?
Yes, sir.
Everybody's here. You know what's so lovely is you're in the middle of the live stream and your mouse dies.
Oh, that's not good.
Thank God your computer is touchscreen. Thank God for that. So I don't know. I'm going to try to reset this. Hold on. See, things happen when you do live. Okay. It's working right now. We'll see how long that lasts. All right, guys. Did you see? We're playing Virtual versus Scramble. Are y'all ready? Because I'm not.
I'm ready.
I don't think I'm ready. I'm a little nervous about this. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to kind of give semi of a concept of this game because Austin did not print out the instructions and the rules. He's going to try to remember from his brain, which is not going to be good. Shame on me. I know. Stop shaking your head, young man. I'm just kidding. So, like I said, this is called Virtual versus Scramble. So what I have done is I have selected ballpark around 12 to 14 songs of my choice, okay? And we're going to throw an image on the screen. These guys are going to be able to see it. And we're all, even though the image is on the screen, we're all still going to be able to hear one another in chat. And they have to figure out what that song is by the one verse that I picked out of that song being scrambled all together. Okay. some of them are probably going to be really easy that you're going to be like, Austin, how stupid are you? Because that's so simple, because the title of the song is in the scramble, but we're going to give it a shot. Look, I've never done that like this before, so it's going to be fun. So we're not going to keep score. Last week, the guys wanted to keep score. I don't like keeping score. Everybody's a winner, so we're not going to keep score. We're going to go one at a time. We're going to start with Finley, and then we'll go to Jimmy next. If Finley does not get the first one correct, then Jimmy gets a shot, or vice versa, whoever's turn is. Guys, any questions? Do you understand?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
We'll see as we go.
Let me make sure my lovely fiance is not correcting me in these comments, because last week he was correcting me because I was completely wrong. But before we start, we got a good friend watching, Bruno Neshi. What's happening, bro?
Man.
Thanks you so much for tuning in. So Cassie's not making any comments, so she said it. Okay, there we go. It's correct, so I'm right. A lot of these games, she comes up with the concept. So if they're not good, don't blame me. Okay. All right, let's get this going. Finley, are you ready? You're first.
I hope so.
Okay. I'm going to give you the easiest one. Jimmy's going to kill me. All right. I'm going to take this banner off the screen real quick so you'll be able to see everything.
I'm bad under pressure, man. I might not get it.
All right, here we go. Here it is.
Good scoot boogie.
See how easy? I told y'all. Jimmy's going to kill me because I done that.
Wait, so I can't guess when it's his turn, right? This is not a
Yeah, I think
unless he doesn't,
Jimmy
doesn't know.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Right.
making sure I
So,
understand.
ladies and gentlemen, yes, the answer was Boot Scootin' Boogie. That was the answer. Easiest one, probably, of the whole night. Okay. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm sorry. He's like, you're showing favorite. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Jimmy, are you ready? We're going to go for another one. Are you ready?
let's do it.
All right, here we go. On the screen now. All right, you got us an answer.
This is probably embarrassing because
Ding, ding. I got the answer.
you got the answer. I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Is that a Dwight Yoakam song? Is that Fast as You?
Yep. Yeah.
Great answer is Fast as You.
There we go. Had to go real far back there.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. All right, Finley, are you ready for the next one? I don't understand how he's getting the real super easy ones that were put together. I don't know how this is happening. Okay. All right, Finley, here we go.
Oh, just pretend. Yeah.
See.
It looks weird reading it. I've never.
It does.
Yeah,
I was like, it was taking me a little bit too.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? What is this weird?
The answer
song?
is just pretend. That is the answer. That is the answer. All right, Jimmy, on to the next one. Here we go. There it is.
Oh.
See, I
yeah.
did this one at your retreat. This is Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton.
And the answer is Wonderful Tonight. That is right. We need to have some type of like ding, ding, ding or something when you get it right. I'm gonna have to work on that. I have to work on that. Okay. All right. Now on to the next one. Finley, are you ready?
Sure.
If you don't get this one, I'll kill you. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't gonna kill you. You should get this one. All right, here we go.
Oh, Ain't No Sunshine.
And the answer is Ain't No Sunshine. Man, these guys are good. These guys are good. See, I try not to make it too hard on you guys.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, the way I had it to begin with, Cassidy was like, I don't think you want to do that because you can't even figure it out. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'll try to
When
make
you
it a little
initially
easier.
explained it to me, I thought that the words were actually going to be scrambled.
Yes,
Well,
I thought that
yeah.
too.
I thought this was going to be rather difficult.
Yeah,
No,
I was like, I don't think
the
we're gonna
verse.
get one right.
No, the line of the verses are scrambled.
I see.
So originally, that's how I had it done.
Okay.
Hard. And
Yeah,
I
that
was
would have been a lot more interesting.
what does this mean? Maybe
Mhm.
next time we'll have to do it that way. I don't know. But it was hard the way we had it. All right, let's go to the next one. Jimmy, your turn, right?
Okay.
All right, here we go. What we got?
I don't know if I know this one.
Ding ding.
Finley?
Ding ding.
Finley, you can steal it because I don't think I
It's
got
my
it.
girl. You don't know my girl?
What? Show
My
those
girl.
girls. Yeah.
Hold on.
I've got so
Give me
much
yours.
honey the bees envy me. Come on, man.
What is that? Is that like the bridge in it or something, or is that a verse?
No,
That's the verse.
That's a verse and part of the chorus mixed together.
Yeah, it starts with I've got so much honey, the bees envy me. I've got a sweeter song than the birds in the tree. Yeah.
I'm disappointed, Jimmy.
I
Come
know.
on, my
Me
girl.
too. Me too.
My girl.
Yeah,
My-
I should have known that. Man.
Oh my Lord. Okay. All right, Finley, we're on to the next one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here it is. Now, I made this one a little harder. I separated some of the words.
Huh.
All right, what you got?
That's all the time I get?
That's it.
I don't know.
I'll put it back up for another second. Here you go. Okay. He's thinking long and hard about that one.
I don't know.
Jimmy, you got a shot?
I don't think I do either. I think the breaking up the words was really made it difficult.
That's why I done it. Just to see what happened. All right, you want to know the answer?
Mhm.
Here we go.
Hit me.
I want to hold your hand.
Oh,
by the
okay.
Beatles.
Okay.
Yep. That
Little
was
Beatles.
the answer.
I'm not a huge Beatles fan. That's
I stumped you on one. There you
I
go.
know.
Yippee. Okay.
I've always thought my backup career could be a Paul McCartney tribute artist, though, because the left-handed thing.
That's
you know?
right.
No. That would work. That would work. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. Jimmy, here we go.
All right.
This
let's
should be
see.
easy. It should be easy.
Should be. Oh.
Blue suede shoes. Hell no.
He's hoping I don't know it. Burning Love.
Burning Love is the answer. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Finley.
Now, don't give me another hard one, okay? We need to have these broken out.
This one's gonna be hard to where Jimmy should know this one.
Oh.
And you may, I don't know. All right, here we go.
No clue.
I'll give you a minute because that's a lot of words.
No, there's nothing here on this one. Is this a U2 song or something, or why should Jimmy know it? No.
It's not U2.
No, I'll put them back up.
You're right. No clue in this one.
So you're passing on.
Yeah, definitely. I've never heard the line "carved in ice" in any song before. You've got me here.
All right, Jimmy. Any guess?
Let me see it again.
Okay.
One more time.
Here we go.
Is it a Meatloaf song? Or is it not?
I ain't saying a word.
It's not I would
Your
do
smirk's
anything.
giving it away.
It's not I would do anything for love, is it?
The answer is I'd do anything for love.
Yes.
And I even
Very
misspelled
good,
anything. Look at
Yeah.
that. I misspelled anything. Bless my heart.
Any Hating.
Anything. All right. That's a good one. All right. Are y'all ready for this one? Whose turn would it be? See, I was Finley, so it goes to Jimmy now.
Yeah, I think it's me now.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Right now.
I know this one.
Yeah. Sounds like something you'd know. It's probably a country song or something.
I know. I know you don't know this one.
I'm not big on
Country guy.
country. I don't know. Just take it.
Check yes or no.
I should
That
know
is
that.
right.
I know that song.
Check yes or no.
I know that one.
All right. All right, Finley. Here's another one. Here we go. Right now.
No clue.
No clue. Okay. Are you passing it on?
I'm passing this on to Mr. Jimmy Holmes. Yes.
All right, Jimmy, what you got in mind?
Is that I'm Amazed by You or Baby I'm Amazed by You by
You
Lone
are
Star?
correct. Amazed. Yes, by Lone Star. That is right.
There you
That
go.
is right.
See, I redeemed myself with the country. I got that one.
That's not my kind of country. I don't know.
Yeah.
That at all.
All right, we got one more left. I'm gonna let you both look at it, and then I'll let you both give the answer. Okay, at the same time. All right. This one should be easy. All right. Here we go.
I know it. Do we just say it?
Not yet. Hold on.
I think I do.
I got it. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
All right.
yeah.
On the count of three, say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Brown-eyed girl.
Girl.
That is right. Brown-eyed girl is the answer. Yes. I
Transistor
think that
radio
was-
saved me because that's
Yeah.
always, it
Yeah,
was
it's
like,
yeah.
it was like a weird thing in the song. It's like
Right.
then he says transistor radio. Like that's weird.
I think that was cool. That was
Mhm.
fun.
That
Did
was
you guys?
fun. That was nice.
I had fun. That was cool.
That was cool.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the end of Virtual Verse Scramble. That's the end of it. That was fun. I enjoyed that. That was cool. Oh man. Well,
That
it
was
was
cool.
a little hard, but not that bad. Not that bad.
No, I think you should have scrambled the words up. I think that would be.
Yeah, and give us just
Next
the whole
time-
time. Give us
But
the whole
maybe
time
do
to
that.
try and figure out one.
Maybe do that only Elvis song, so we actually stand a
Mhm.
chance.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we could swing that. That'll work. Next time for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope y'all had fun watching the Virtual Verse Scramble. Everybody's making comments. Oh, Cassidy's saying keep score. They're tied 6-6.
Oh no!
Wow.
I don't
we settle this?
tiebreaker. I rock paper scissors.
That's not hard to do virtually.
I know.
I know. No, you're both the winners. You both participated and you both did a great job. So. Yes,
There's
it's
never
fair
two
enough. There is. I think so. Well, that concludes that game show. I think that was fun. I think it was good. I loved it. That was awesome. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And during this time, I want to ask all the winners, if you have any questions for Finley and Jimmy, separately, together, whatever, please comment those questions now in the comment section below, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Please do that now. And when we come back, we're going to throw these questions to you guys, and then it'll conclude our show. So don't change that channel. We'll be back in a flash with viewers' questions in just a moment.
Austin Irby, a name synonymous with electrifying entertainment. This multi-talented artist is renowned worldwide for his captivating tribute to the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. in the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist competition and named one of the top 10 Elvis tribute artists in the world by Elvis Presley Enterprises. Austin has honed his craft to perfection. His dedication and passion are undeniable. Austin's talents extend far beyond his Elvis tribute. From soulful ballads to high-energy rock and roll, his original music and diverse repertoire will keep you entertained. Experience the magic of live music with Austin Irby. Whether you're an Elvis enthusiast or simply a lover of great entertainment, you won't want to miss this unforgettable show.
Square, can't find a party, it's one and tell. Go, go, go. Lay it on me, daddy, oh. Well, everybody in the wholesale line was in the church tail, I tried. Well, they were dancing through the tail, I tried. They were dancing through the tail, I tried. They were dancing through the tail, and they were dancing. And they were moving to the tail house. Right. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, we are back with What's Up with Austin Finley. Get off the phone. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to watch that guy on the screen. Whoever
I know
was,
he's
man.
horrible. He's horrible. I don't know how that got there, man. Anyway, so we got a few comments coming in. I'm gonna do the best I can. This thing is completely gone now. I'm gonna just throw it. Hopefully this program will work, doing everything touchscreen. But we're gonna see if we can get some of these questions up here. Let's see. All right, here is one from Danielle. All right, let's toss it up there. Besides Elvis, who do you look up to or has been a positive influence in your career? This is for both of you. Finley, you can go first.
All right. Well, kind of a different one is I really look up a lot to James Burton and my guitar playing. Elvis's guitar player, and I actually got to meet James and hang out with him a little bit. He actually gave me a guitar that I have. But James has been such a positive influence personally, getting to meet him and my guitar playing. It's definitely a big influence in my musical career.
All right, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm. I would have to say some of the viewers might not know it because it's not really in the Elvis genre, but U2, band U2, Bono, he was a huge influence. They're still my favorite band of all time, and it's really what got me into music and playing instruments, playing guitar, playing drums, all of that stuff. So that really had a big influence on my career. I would say just as much as Elvis. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. All right. Let's see. There's so many popping up here. Here's one from Cassidy. Where is one place you have never been that you would like to go to? Jimmy, you want to start this one?
Sure. That's a good one. I would like to one of these days go to maybe over to Japan somehow and get over there and perform.
Very cool.
Because I want to, one of my end goals is to try and do a show on every continent, and I'm missing Asia and Africa right now.
Right.
But I want to maybe get over to Japan because I really like a lot of the Japanese culture and the sights and all the fun little, like mascots they have and all that stuff. So I want to get over to Japan sometime.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Finley?
I'd like to go to Europe. I haven't never been over to Europe, and I know there's a lot of great Elvis fans over there and cool stages to play on. So I'd like to do that.
Cool.
Sure.
Awesome. All right. Here's a question. This is an interesting one. Do you have an Elvis ringtone?
No, I have the stock Apple ones. That's about it.
No, I don't. I don't have an Elvis ringtone. My phone is like permanently on vibrate almost all the time. I almost never have the ringer on. You know, that's funny how no one has their, well, not a lot of people that I know have their phone on a sound anymore. So it's just on on silent. So all those times when you used to pay for a ringtone back in the day, it's like that doesn't exist anymore.
That's true. It don't exist anymore. Mine constantly stays on silent or vibrate.
Yep.
Yeah. So twins there, bro. I'm with you. I'm the same way. All right, we got one more question we're gonna get to. And I think we need to do this one because this is a good friend of ours. Jacob Roman is watching, and he says, for Jimmy and Finn, if you had to choose a guitar to play the rest of your life, would it be a Gibson or a Martin? Finley, what you got to say?
Easy Gibson. I have a Gibson J200 that is very near and dear to my heart. I would never let that thing go. So for sure,
That's
that
awesome.
J200.
Jimmy?
Yeah, same. It would be a Gibson. Yeah, the same guitar as Finley. That's the king of acoustic guitars, in my opinion. That's the best. That's
I
the king.
agree.
Better than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm trying to change something. I'm trying to go through these comments. There's more here, but it's hard to do it when you don't have a mouse. It's hard to do it. I was scared I'm gonna press a button and end the live stream. I think that was it. That might have been all of them. Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. I think that's all of them. Well, guys, I had a blast. Did y'all have fun?
Me too. Yeah, great time. Fantastic.
Look, before I let you guys go, I want you to do one more favor for me, each of you. Finley, I'll start with you, and then Jimmy will end with you. I'm gonna put you on the screen by yourself, and I want you, if you can, to give some encouragement words to the people that are watching. You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in the world. What is something encouraging, that you could tell somebody? There's people that have financial problems, they have sickness going on or whatever. What is something encouraging you can tell them? Finley, I'll start with you.
Well, the thing that I've found so far that has worked the best for me, though, is just to make your goals and stick to them. 'Cause there's, like you said, there's so much craziness going on in the world, and there's so many distractions. So it's really important to try to set realistic goals and and try to stick to those goals and work things out one piece at a time for sure.
Right, Jimmy.
Yes, I am looking on my phone right now for something that I had screenshotted. I think I'm almost to it, but it's something that Elvis actually wrote on like one of the when he was at the Hilton and he was, he had like the pad next to the bed, or no, it was on his. It says taking care of business, but I think it's to Sheila Ryan, who he was dating in 74 or 75 or something. And this is something that I live by too. I'm not just saying it because it's Elvis, but extra points. Right. But it says philosophy for a happy life, someone to love, something to look forward to, and something to do. Like that is really simple, but it's something that I think helps me out for sure. You have people who you love, and then you always want to be looking forward to the future or bettering yourself or your goals or anything. And then you always want to, have something to do, keep yourself busy and keep yourself happy. Hopefully it's something that you enjoy doing. It is for me.
That is true. So true. Thank you guys both for doing that. I know somebody needed to hear something that you had to say for sure. Guys, well, thank y'all so much for coming on the show. I had a blast. Everybody that's watching had a blast. They love both of you dearly, and it was a lot of fun, and we'll have to do it again in the future on down the road in another episode. So thank you guys both again. And Finley, I'll see you next week. And Jimmy, I hope I get to see you soon. I hope I get to see you soon.
Sometime down the road.
But love you guys. Thank y'all so much for coming
man.
on. Thank you for being a friend. And I appreciate everything you guys do for for me, because you guys are part of my event and you guys give the best that you can, and that means a lot to me. So thank you, much love, and I will see y'all soon.
Sounds good, brother.
Yep. See ya.
All right, y'all take care. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Finley and Jimmy. Make some noise for both of them. Put some hearts on the screen for both of them. Hopefully, my mouse is working right now, so hopefully we won't have any other issues, and I have to pause for a minute. But Finley, Facebook, Finley Watkins Entertainer. Go and follow and like that. And Jimmy Holmes is Elvis. Go and check that out too. I'm pretty sure their websites and all other social media is on their Facebook pages as well. If you haven't already, go and like my Facebook page. Follow Austin Irby Entertainer. I appreciate it very, very much. Please do so. Follow me on Instagram. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the What's Up with Austin YouTube channel. Or if you're not watching on YouTube, please go and subscribe and ring that notification bell as well. Also, go give a like to Carolina's Tribute Festivals. Go give a like to our Facebook page also. And AustinIrbyEntertainment.com. Go to AustinIrbyEntertainment.com to find out everything you need to know about me and what we got going on. So please do so. Let me take this off I knew it would happen again. This mouse would go out, but hopefully it won't go out again. It's going again. Make sure you go to CarolinaTributeFest.com. Go and buy your passes for the Carolina's Tribute to the King of Legends Festival. All event passes are on sale right now. Please do that. Also, the Austin Irby Fan Retreat passes are on sale for that too. AustinIrbyEntertainment.com. Go check that out. Come see me Sunday at Jones Chapel Church at 6 p.m. Here in Belton, South Carolina. I'd love to see you there. I look forward to seeing everybody at Clambake next week. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. So come and see me there also. And what we got next? Eureka Springs. Come and see me there. If you haven't got your tickets yet, the Rockin' Eureka Elvis Festival, that's in just a few weeks. We're going to have a lot of fun also there. Florida, we're going to be there quite a bit. May 31st, June 2nd, June 5th, June 7th, all across Central Florida. So come see me in Florida. And also come see me and all the rest of the gang at the Elvis Summer Festival there in Ocala, Florida at the Circle Square Cultural Center at the On Top of the World. We're going to have a lot of fun there too. So I'd really appreciate that very, very much. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. I meant to say this earlier before we took the last commercial break, but I don't know if everybody saw the commercial that we did with the promo video of me. That is a brand new show that I have written called Austin Irby, the King and Beyond. We are maybe get a show booked this year. I don't know, but we are working a lot to tour with it in 2026. So maybe we'll be coming to a city near you. It's a great show, a lot of fun, full variety of music. And I'm excited to get on the road and get that show going. It's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I hope everybody had a blast. And until next time, God bless y'all. I love y'all. And hopefully I don't think we'll be doing an episode next month. It'll probably be June before we're back, but you never know. I'm really busy next month. So hopefully we'll be able to maybe squeeze one in. But if not, we'll be back in June. But please share this with all your friends. We want to help this show grow and get it out to everybody. Anybody that sent a tip or anything tonight, thank you so much. I really appreciate it a lot. And until next time with What's Up with Austin, God bless y'all. I love y'all.